and that's why we bring in Chris Mulcahy. Are we weather alert? Chris, hi, good morning.
Good morning to you. Yes, we are weather alerts, and it's a rare day that we have a 100% chance for rain, and it's already verified because pretty much everyone has already seen rain so far this morning, I'm sure, including yourself.
Yes, we have. I ran into it.
You ran into it?
I mean, yeah, right when I got into the car this morning, I was like, oh my gosh, it's coming down right now. I was ill prepared for a moment.
And that's the deal, is I think one thing about this morning's rain is suddenly it'll be a light shower, and then it could quickly turn over to a moderate to a heavy downpour. And I think the rain's only going to get heavier if you haven't yet seen some of the heavy stuff. So check it out. Look at all this rain down towards the south. So this is a little cause of concern. Whenever you have this much rain, then that's the yellows and the orange. Mm-hmm. That's a rain rate that's anywhere from about a quarter inch to up to an inch per hour. And this isn't generally starting to turn its way further off towards the north and west. Here is a better look at also the wider view, but look how much rain's already fallen from this system. And wow, this has been a slow mover, and that's why we've seen so much rain over a short period of time. This is actually over the last 48 hours, so this is combining some of the rain that we saw on Mother's Day. Didn't see as much here, but there was a lot more in South Carolina. But those are still up to 3 to 6 inches of rain. I think that's going to be the upper threshold that we see across our area. In general, I think it's a little bit more 1 to 3 over the next, say, day and a half. But we're already seeing some of the heaviest rain now work its way into our southern counties. So I want to start right here around Chester and up into York County. These are heavier rain rates. This means that the windshield wipers are overwhelmed by rain. Yep. You're having a deluge come down, and it's generally west of I-77 and 321 that I think we're going to have the worst of the rain, because all that rain that is pointed down to the south is working its way in. But all of us have to be weather alert, because why? We're looking at widespread rain. And it'll continue. Rain on rain on rain will lead to flooding, and we have widespread rain already. I think there's a slight break into the afternoon. I think it becomes widespread again later on this evening and overnight. Then it's more likely to scatter as those rain chances start to come down. So why are we weather alert? It's actually for a few reasons. One, I think it's a lot less than the others. The widespread rain, the chance for flooding. Most of this is nuisance flooding. If you're familiar with Uptown, Sugar Creek Greenway, it always goes underwater with any sort of rain. I think that's the same case and scenario. But some of the creeks and streams that don't typically flood, I think, are going to start to overcome those, hit minor flood status over the next few days, especially in the western Carolinas. There's also a chance for a few thunderstorms later on this afternoon. Let's start with your flood watch. So you have flood watch today through Tuesday afternoon. It's interesting that Charlotte is not under this, and the main reason why is because I think more rain sets up in the mountains. Sometimes rain literally rides up the slope of the mountains, it condenses more, and it becomes heavier. That's exactly what happened during Helene, to use it as a much bigger example, but same thing's going to happen here. That's why you have a sliver of green to the northwest and the western Carolinas, but the eastern Carolinas, including Stanley, Anson, and Richmond County, they're going to see rain longer today, and flooding is all about duration and intensity. Yes, we're going to have intense bands, but some areas are going to see rain only half the day, while others will see it all day long, and I think it's more of a northeast of Charlotte deal that we're seeing that. As far as our excessive rain impacts, this is all by the Storm Prediction Center, different branches of NOAA. Shows a moderate threat today, a low chance tomorrow, and then an even lower chance on Wednesday. So today is the day. So just kind of backing up why we went weather alert for today, and that's an all-day situation. Our rainfall totals already, we have over an inch of rain in the mountains. I'm telling you, I think that some areas in the mountains could record up to 6 inches plus by the time that we're done with all this, and that's not a good situation. We already know what they're going through, so there will be some minor to even moderate flooding that happens over there. Charlotte's now seen up to a quarter inch, so we're destined for an inch already so far today. This model, I think, is the most accurate, kind of putting up to about 2 to 3 in much of the mountains, but could have some range in that 4 to 6. And then Charlotte's all over the place. I think you could see anywhere from up to an inch to 2 inches, depending where it sets up. But again, the eastern side of our viewing area is seeing a little bit more. This Futurecast rainfall comes together really showing about 1 to 3 inches. So this is a bunch of numbers, but what I'm going to paraphrase, we have a chance of 1 to 3 inches over the next day and a half. It'll pour at times, so if you can stay inside, go for it. Today's a great day. I was telling people, if you feel always motivated, this is the day to take a nap if you can. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
So here's your Futurecast. So we're going to go hour by hour. As I mentioned, this morning is the heaviest. This is where we're expecting the most rain. Here's 10 a.m. Here's 11. There's 1. At this point, we see a breakage. All the time, whenever you have bands of rain like this, and this is around this massive low pressure system, you'll start to see some dry air inserted. It's called dry slot. We start to see that really early to mid-afternoon, and oftentimes that's a good thing. Meanwhile, it's still raining for our far eastern zones where we still have that flood watch for Stanley, Anson, and Richmond County. But Charlotte, I think, in the middle of the afternoon, could have a break from the rain. The second scenario is that it's more of a drizzle in between, and then the worst case scenario is that you have redeveloping showers and thunderstorms. So there is the slightest chance for a severe chance. Every time the Storm Prediction Center puts us under that shade of yellow, it's not always going to verify. This is really tough to overcome. When you have this much rain before it arrives, you kind of need sunshine to destabilize things. I'm not calling for sunshine today. I think it's going to be an overcast day pretty much all throughout. But you notice it redevelops a lot more further off towards the west, and that's exactly where we're kind of pinning our severe weather risks. So it's the far western Carolinas, and the further south you go, we'll have a chance for showers and storms to redevelop kind of in that drier sector, and those will be still scattered thunderstorms for today and later on this evening. I just think it's going to be worse here, showing a 5% chance for damaging winds, so that's still very, very low. And oftentimes our Futurecast wind gusts will pick up on some sort of disturbance. I barely see that. So again, I'm not going to say it won't happen. I'm just saying we're closer to more near zero than an actual likelihood. And then a closer look at our Futurecast. This is the one Futurecast that kind of verifies the storms. This is 4 o'clock, seeing storms really starting to, I would say, develop anytime between 3 to 5 o'clock closer to Greenville and Spartanburg. Pushes way off towards the north. I've been kind of giving Cleveland County an honorary mention to potentially see some of those stronger storms, and then you see that conveyor belt of that widespread rain. So right now we're at 67 degrees. You're going to see widespread rain. Temperatures don't really move too much. We have a high right around 70 degrees, and you see that today stands out from all the rest for multiple reasons. It's the wettest. It's the coolest. It's the cloudiest. It's winning the yearbook superlatives across the board. And then
best dressed.
Yes, best dressed. Yeah, you didn't realize that. And most outgoing. It's sensational. So many people are jealous. And then the rest of the days, we'll see a big upcoming. But then we have story number 2. Of course, we're going to be talking a lot about the PGA at Quail Hollow, not called the previous name named after a bank. And we're going to be close to 90 degrees on Friday. And it's a humid 90. So you go to more of a summertime pattern. And Jane, quiz question. Yep. What happens when it's hot and humid in the middle of the afternoon in Charlotte?
We have weird weather or stable air, unstable air.
Well, yeah, and sometimes you can pop up a
tornado,
thunderstorm.
Close.
You went the worst case scenario. I appreciate it. They're the wolves. But no, we're going to have a slight chance for a pop-up shower or thunderstorm during the middle of the afternoon. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think if there's a best chance for a thunderstorm during the tournament is probably on Saturday, but it's nothing compared to what we have. So I know a lot of fans were excited to go to the golf course today.
Right.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to be a good time out there. I don't know what their status is, but I would be surprised. They usually cancel things for thunderstorms, but if you go out there, you're just going to get plain old soak because we have at least up to an inch of rain for the day.
Yeah, today and tomorrow. So it's the Thunderbolts, not the movie. There on the 7-day. Yeah,
and I think on Tuesday, I know it's just a plain thunderbolt. We're on the cloudier side. I do think that there will be a chance for some drier hours tomorrow. So that's a much better day. Okay. Same thing on Wednesday. Today's the near washout, and there's not actually a technical definition by the National Weather Service for washout, but we like to put it as if it's raining from sunrise to sunset, it's a washout. So today is a near washout because we do have a chance for a little bit drier air for the afternoon.
You did say that this does help with the drought. Are we out of it for sure?
Well, because I have access to our weather computer. I actually talked about this earlier on WCNC Plus. Let me see. Let me find the graphic for a second. Okay. Jane, stall real quick.
I'm stalling. And my other question, as you're looking for that, is you talk about potential flooding in the mountain areas, but not a potential for landslide because it would have to be really dry and then rain.
Oh, yeah, I think definitely landslides.
Oh,
absolutely.
Landslides
Yeah,
well.
no, and I don't mention that enough, but yeah, no, because if you think about it, we before this event and before we had the rain recently, we were super dry.
Right, exactly.
So you had the rain before that was the precursor. So then you kind of have the dominoes that could fall from this rain event. So yeah, mudslides possibility, widespread flooding, especially if certain areas do get up to that 6-inch mark over the next couple of days. But you brought up the drought.
Okay.
So officially for the drought, you can be in a surplus for the year and still under a drought. But since recently, notice January, February, March, April, all of those had a below average rain total for what they typically see for the month. May's already well above it by about an inch and a half. And today we've already had a 1/4 inch to add on top of that. So we need at least another 3 inch to be in a surplus. And our drought monitor is updated every Thursday, but the data closes on Tuesday. So all the rain that we have today is going to be factored into whatever map we see at the end of the week.
Okay.
So I think we're going to see vast improvements. For one, we saw an improvement last week with far less rain. So a lot of the areas that are officially under a drought, I think, could go down to abnormally dry, and I wouldn't be surprised if half the map is decreased because of the amount of rain that we've seen. So this is kind of like a almost baby bear's porridge for some of us that we're seeing just enough rain. Some of us a little bit too much because we do have that minor flooding. But yeah, this is definitely needed, and we're going to be close at least after this event.
All right. Well, that's good news. We just need to get through today without too much, havoc.
Yeah, stay weather aware. It's going to be wild, especially with the priming of the soil. So even though it might be drier, if you get a quick burst of thunderstorms, one thing is called training, where you have one that forms after another. If you have that type of setup, we could have some flash flood warnings popping up later on. Slightest chance for a severe thunderstorm warning. That's why it's a weather alert day all day long. Sunrise to sunset heading into the evening. Stay weather aware, and we'll keep you in the know.
And that's what we're going to do. Weather alert with our Chris Mulcahy. Thank you very much. Love the comprehensive reports there. And we raised our weather IQ a little bit, too.
Yeah, always. We can't turn it off, Jane.
We can't.
Can't turn it off.
All right. A chance of thunderstorms with that unstable air when it's hot and humid in the afternoon.
Nailed it.
Ah, okay, got it.